Okay, we are back with another one. In today's video, we will be expanding more or less the smelting arrays, creating assembly lines, and creating the main bus. My current plan is to essentially just make the main bus, and once said bus has been made, we take off some of the ends and we basically very simply transfer said things on the bus into trains and we start shipping them around. So everything will go through more or less like an assembly line, smeltery for steel, and then it gets shipped up with a train, and then we proceed. We make the base with the trains. So I think first thing we're going to be focusing on is potentially the so-called HR center. Now, what is the HR center? Workers automated. As simple as that. So let's get going with that. With that, we only need the iron, so we do not need to start routing the copper. So first things first, we need to do a bit more removing of the forest. Deforestation, we love that. Now, one thing I realized while I was editing the last video was the fact that there is no audio for tree chopping or mining, which after looking at some other videos from Factorio, they were present. I'm not sure why they aren't present here, but I guess it's no longer a thing in my game. Okay, that's a good portion of deforestation done now. Now we will just need to create some belts. Actually, I think we should make something for the belts before we start doing anything. Basically what I'm talking about is we are going to start automating belts and such because we'll need it quite a bit. So we make 10. We start attempting to map it out. So let's see. And the result will be the normal transport belts. So that is quite simple. We'll then just need 2 of these. Do that. Move this a bit. Okay. And then we are able to... We're going to start with the jank already, but that is... I'm sure that is fine. Just click that. No, we cannot do that. That needs to be on the bottom. One thing I realized I should have done already is this is way too close. We need to move this because we want the bus to be 4 butts, not 1. Okay, so I'm forgetting how to do this. Oh no. Right. Like that. Yes. Perfect. There we go. Amazing. First attempt, all of that jazz. So with that, this is still working. We potentially need what's it called? I forgot the name. Oh man. White. I lost it. Right, never mind that. I guess. Now, I am unsure why I've decided to place those so far away from each other. With that, I mean the inserter and everything else. Okay, so now we should have belts automated. We could make those into 3. We're able to make this. There we go. Now we're making these. We could potentially extend this by... There we go. And then that will be made in here. We can then make this there into just a simple chest, so we have it stored. Like so. And then we are able to let's see, and let's say that should be like that. No, we can't, because we need to put this up like here with the copper. So let's plan for that ahead, so we don't accidentally create something and then it is not able to work. So best bet is just placing it up here as well. Okay, so with that we need more gears and stick. Actually, we could attempt to do something here. We do it like this, and then we have the belt in the middle. I'm not sure why I had to think that hard if how many I needed. But I did. Right. So now we are able to make the iron plates here. And then I made it perfectly. Excellent. So potentially something along these lines. Alright, and that also needs just normal iron plates. So we have something like this. We then should be able to do something like this. Why do you have an odd number of the undergrounds? It could be because of the mini loaders, I guess. You know, in that case, I think I would just make 1 mini loader, and then we make 5 undergrounds. Alright. Now we can just steal from here, so that should be fine. Doesn't really matter, those can be on both sides, so that is perfectly okay. And there, I forgot to make the assemblers. Now we have the so-called HR management. Silly joke, but we love it. Actually, something we could do, just do that. Doesn't limit it as much, so that is just ideal. Same here. Something is missing. It's just the fact it requires a lot. We can upgrade them with the fast starters to allow the workers to be hired more effectively. But let's throw in some corporate buzzwords, shall we? So I've just realized the audio is extremely quiet. Let's fix that. $258. No, thank you. I see no issue here. Right, amazing. So now we have that fully functional. I can already see I've limited myself quite a bit with the spacing here, which is not exactly optimal for the future. Now, I could be a smart fella and move this, or I could make it an issue for later me, because this needs to be extended down. Yeah, I think we will just expand this by 2. There. And then we drag this up. If we are going to make an underground, let's at least use all of it. There we go. And then let's steal some more of the belts. 640. Should be good. Now, later on, I am thinking of adding several smelteries, so it will be a bit more efficient than this. So actually, let's just plan for that and add it on the top instead, which allows me to place a smeltery down here and then route it up and then into the lower one as well. And if it demands it, I guess we're able to use these as well. So we should be good. Now we have that automated. Let's remove a bit more forest with the remove two trees. There we go. Holy. That's not really a lot of removal, but that is fine. Let's see, what should we focus on? Red science. Absolutely. Has that been automated? No, that has not been automated. Well, of course I haven't played with this since I made that video. Right, let's just let this here run its course. What's that? There we go. We'll just let that run until that is out of science, and then we'll move it. Oh. Alright, there we go. How is the power looking? Right, we need to work on power. The burner drills can be removed as well, as we do not really need them. So let's do what this generation's beloved activity. Let's just litter that real quick. Audio quality may shift, as I am, instead of using OBS, I'm now using Streamlabs. Yeah. I decided to potentially just use one program for both streaming and recording instead of having 2 separate ones. So hopefully the audio issues that was experienced in the last one is fixed. Which means some of my overlays is still very present, but since we're on the so-called live overlay, or live scene, I don't think a lot should be present, unless someone goes into my Twitch and randomly writes a message that will pop up on screen. Chances of that, extremely slim. Right. Now, seeing as we want to make rails, we do need to, oh my. Yeah, we need to do something about our iron. I think that in total it should be 24, not 24 on each like side. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken. I'll have a look after I'm done with this recording. And if it does appear to be 24, I will change that off camera. Just so we at least have some efficiency in the factory. If I do, I'll probably slap a picture of it like right about here. I don't know. Thumbs up. Right. Without the little rambling session completed, let us see, what else can we really just do right now? I find it very hard to believe this is the so-called necessities. We could do that. No, that requires a green. We do not have a green science. Something we could do is create a sort of science area. So I want to have the science on the bottom side. The only issue is that will cause several issues down the line, as I will need to do some funky spaghettiing to actually get some of like the later science in the area. So I don't want to place it right here. I want to plan a bit for the future, meaning that I should probably place it out there. I believe I might be able to fit yellow science as well, potentially? Unsure. Anyways, let's remove a bit more of the trees. Create a bit more space for the bus, create a bit more space for one thing that we absolutely should start mass producing already, and I'm thinking of dedicating a 4-lane to that as well, is the green circuits. The amount of green circuits that the factory eats is honestly astonishing. Astonishing. Astonished? Words. So I'm potentially just thinking of doing that. And, yeah. So, with that being said, that requires very simple resources that we're absolutely able to make. There's a lot of spacing issues I'm already facing. If I want to make a new assembly line or smeltery line, where would that go? Because if I... Alright, never mind, I guess it can go right there. My bad. But one thing I do want to do is redirect the coal a bit. I'm not really sure what system I want to run with this, as I don't really have one dedicated. Like, oh yeah, this research needs to be at the bottom, this needs to be in the top. The way I'm currently doing is, if it requires majority iron, or like more recipes to be crafted in iron, I goes in the top, and vice versa with copper. And seeing as it requires copper cables, it needs to be refined or assembled, go through machinery once, hence it's going to be on the bottom. So, I would say I would potentially over-exaggerate by making it extremely large, but I don't think I will. So, let's have 4 of these. I have so much wood, holy. They both have, yes, okay, good. What we are able to do, just to be extremely lazy, is the portion of the wood issue has just been solved. But, oh, I mean, gives him a bit more of a buffer time until I run out of power, I guess. Yeah. So if we were to make, well, we need lots of those. If we were to make 4 of these be dedicated here, And then actually let's mark this in blueprint real quick so we're actually able to think. So then I need let's take a line, and then this one. So what we could do is do some of this, create some key images, do this, then do that, create some of this, and then remove those. And then eventually this will span here. So we could make something like that. Which means no, that's gonna be extremely limiting. If we do that here, as an example, I'm not sure if this will work, but we'll find out. Why am I building the? I don't need to do that. Oh well. Alright, so this is where the... Okay, so that means that the... No, that I don't need to think that hard about it. It's just do that. And then repeat on this side. Create a splitter. Then send it here. So split about there, I guess. Do something like this. Yes. Fantastic. No, bleach that there. Well, yeah, okay. Let's do that thing now. Good. And then let's remove these trees real quick. Also, something I've seen some creators do is like, oh yeah, you can't backseat, you can't do anything of that jazz. If you have any suggestions, any comments, please let me know. I know damn well that I do not make my factories super duper very effective with 0 issues, no flaws. So if you do have any suggestions at all, be my guest, send it over, and I will gladly have a look at it. If I do like it, I will most likely incorporate it. And yeah. And that will all do it. Holy! Also, going back to some the comment I made regarding the audios and such. I did make a grand total of 7 seconds test. It sounded good, but I was in the main menu. So if it sounds still horrible, I do apologize. I can potentially do some editing magic.
How good is this?
That will make it sound socially acceptable. We'll have to see. So we create something like this. Create the beloved grid system. Did that? Yeah, okay, it did, yeah. Good. There we go. Now we have that sorted. Expand the bus. We could sit like right here. That was of course caught the mic. Apologies. I'll get that out. Editor, redact that. Nope. Let us create that real quick. We are missing those. Hey, okay. Oh, and once again, I've trapped myself. Cannot expand this at all. I mean, I guess I could place it at the bottom, split it off, and then put like the crosshair and then link it up there with a belt. So, because I am not the most artistic individual known to mankind, I guess I'll just show. So, inserters here, as per usual, and then basically something like that. Could do that. Because right now we're not really getting a lot, but then again, once we get assembly machines too, that should help a little bit. And yeah, the science has done its thing for a good while. Then comes we can actually, I see. Okay, well, let's quickly add some more employees to the iron mine. We can add 60. How will this affect the trout population? Alright, we have 5 in spare. Alright. What I'm thinking now is we remove this segment and we simply create science. Now, I think the only reason why this is now doing so well is because this is jam-packed. So we were to add, let's say, these belts. How well is that going to handle it? Not exactly ideal. I feel there is something very important that I am missing. I don't know what it is, and it's sort of infuriating. That should be at the top, and this needs to be at the bottom if I go with the logic I just said like 10 minutes ago. Also, regarding the yellow signs, that's a complete and utter lie, apparently. There ain't no way I'm fitting yellow signs by the time I get there. What we could do is we make something like this. We're not making anything, we are actually destroying things. Good job. Good commentary, good commentary. Something like that. Then we just start making the science. Don't need to go like extremely far away, because we want to fit a good portion of our science there, at least in the start. So if we say we get either that for it, then yeah, you did. Okay, good. Now this is probably not gonna be enough, knowing Factorio. So let's add 2 more. But they're here. My God, I am. Am I turning blind? As you do something like that, we then move this. Oh, now the sound. Now the sound played. Way. Right. Let's quickly add that in so we're able to see where we should. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's have a look. That needs copper. That's fine. Do something like that. Do that. And then add copper down here. Or doesn't really matter where it's added, as long as it is added. could do something like that. You know, while we're at it, let's do that. Now that is completed. Because now at least they are producing. Don't need to be depositing just yet. I mean, I guess temporarily we could add this. I am really wondering what I am plotting. Scares me the fact that I don't even know what I'm doing. I guess that is the beauty of no planning. Will it come back and bite me in the ass? Oh, 100%. Now the rest of the factory is going this way, so I think if we start adding like horizontal and vertical, there's gonna be some slight issues down the line. So let's add. Well, I'm just gonna sell this belt, I guess. If we remove this forest patch right here, I'll quickly go do that. Alright, now that is completed. Let us set down the foundations for green science. I'm going the wrong way. Thank God. Right. That inserters, yes. Possible way of doing things so I'll take that over a dysfunctional system. So one thing, automation 2, absolutely. Concrete, yeah. I think I think we should potentially start doing that. Where is rails again? Railway. Oh, okay. Well, it could be worse. One thing that we should also get set up is radars. That can be quite helpful. Spitters on that side, so that shouldn't be an issue. Dipping an acid. Yeah. Destroy that. Quite funny. Alright. There we go. Please. Now that will slowly but surely. Oh. Would you look at that? Spitters. Oh. That's ideal. What more are we able to make? I think right now what we should focus on is research, getting things done. So let's do that. And what I'm thinking is we just do this. We mirror it. Now this will create some strain on this one. The thing is that is fed by 2 mini loaders, that should be fine. Now we could do this, the vulcanism equipment, however that is for trains. So can't exactly utilize that currently. I've never really tried that. I've just had it in my mod list. I've never tried that. So I'm not actually sure if that's like good or not. Should have probably tested it out, but I guess we ain't doing that. Okay. I guess we'll call you Greg. Greg the Small Worm. Protector of the trees. Lorax would probably be a more fitting name for you then. If there's going to be a big ocean here, that might be problematic for the ideas we have. Because I have this one blueprint, which, oh my god. Okay. So basically it is going to be gridlocked. Minus this, I guess. Which is quite a bit. Train detector? What? What the There's a lot of things that I have no clue what actually what this does. I said I've not all experience at trains. So what is this? This will be a learning experience for 12 train LTN depot, huh? Bah. Alright, that has been now changed to the fastest circle, so hopefully that will be quicker. And hopefully create a steady line instead of whatever that thing is. And by the looks of it, we're actually spiking upwards, which is quite ideal. Either a flat line or spikes going upwards. Yeah, I'll take that. Now, if I want to be a real funny individual and place like right here, that should be in range, right? That won't cover the entire patch. There we go. Right. Deforestation. Way. Alright. Forest has been demolished. Why did you do that? I'm thinking of adding the stone area to be about here. So... Wow. So as an example, concrete would be here. Of course, now we need to go through. Actually, let's quickly just do that. Let us. So we can have 5. Now, the reason why I've decided to go against well, looks better is the fact that these will be replaced very soon by better furnaces. So you don't see a good reason to have them. So I think we'll just stick with the odd number. And now we'll need to implement the workers real quick. Now, this is a good example of why I wanted to keep them close. Because half is already deployed, and there we go. Now they've started mining. So it's gonna take... It's gonna be a, like, pocket where it's... nothing's going to be happening here. I might be lying as... Yeah, they're still going, so there will be constantly something happening. Okay, good. Now that is going to very much increase the amount of pollution we're making. So holy... Right. I didn't think the world settings would be that intense, but fair enough. My bad. Now, iron is lacking, but I have a feeling that it's because we're currently taking a good portion of it and turning that into... No, it's a matter of... Right, we need furnace electricity. Electric furnaces. There we go. So we are... we can dedicate the entire belt to iron and not one separate. Half. That's the word I'm looking for. Half to coal. And then we do a bit of this. There we go. Now there shouldn't be any iron ore. No, steel in the main system. If we do, I guess I'll find it eventually, and yeah, we're able to construct these now. I think we should start using them instead. Add a last bit of wood, and now this will be starting to be replaced with medium power, medium electricity poles. There we go. Believe it or not, I left the school with the highest degree in English. I'm not thinking about bachelor or masters or anything like that. I'm thinking about a grand total of 6, which is the highest in my country. I would love to continue, but I've currently hit the point where I don't actually know what more to do. There's probably a lot of things I will realize 5 minutes after I end it. But that will have to wait until another time, as right now I am unsure what to build, hey, steel! More steel! I'll go through the entire system, check for any iron, no, steel, that's the word, and hope there is not too much that is currently laying about. Seeing as I don't currently need a lot of iron, I'll just place that back in there. But yes, I believe this will do it for today's video. I will see you lot in the next one. Huzzah!